Today we got the gong and the applause because the market's up for at least the next 4 or 5 minutes.
Deserved. Well deserved. Whatever. Dude, look at that 7-day on Ethereum. 1%.
What?
Solid gold, baby.
We'll take it. Solid green.
Solid
green old.
Yeah, I shouldn't use the word gold. It's a sore subject right now. So,
but at least
solid
the 30-day doesn't, because what's happening now is now we're going to the throes of the dick punch. So now it's
it'll look good.
It'll look good, and then here in about a month, the 90-day will look really good.
Yeah.
Even though 3,000,
no matter what happens,
is nothing. Oh man, so I got this new creatine with HMB. I mean, I've had a few different ones, and I've been having the ones that don't have flavor. So I just got a new one that's like, it's lemon watermelon. And you think those would taste good together, right?
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know when you eat something spicy and you have that late night, like 3 a.m., your head's in a weird position on the pillow and you have that kind of vomit burp?
Oh, that's not good, dude. You've already explained all not good things. Sometimes when supplements do some weird things to me, dude, I get so mad.
Dude, the hot burps, right? So you get the hot burp, and this stuff tastes like that. I'm not kidding.
Oh, no.
This stuff, it's sweet, just a little bit. It tastes like 3 a.m. vomit burp. It's the most horrible, but I'm using it as self-discipline because I'm like, no, I'm going to drink this vomit. And I'm going to convince my mind that it's not what it tastes like. Like it's a self-discipline type thing. It's remarkably bad. I don't even know any other way to explain it. Like the most horrifying drink experience you can imagine. Just bottle up the worst 8 ounces of goo you can imagine. And that's what that tastes like. So don't get that. Don't get lemon, watermelon, creatine, whatever you do. Do not.
So don't get lemon watermelon. Got it. What brand is this stuff that you're getting?
You know what? I'm going to show you as a public service announcement, as a warning.
Thank you. I think that's fair. Get it to us. Let's see. Get it to us.
Okay, it's called Earth Elixir.
What made you want to get this one? I usually just get the simplest of the simplest creatine with no flavor.
No, you want the one with HMB.
Okay. So what made you get this brand?
There's only a few companies that have creatine plus HMB. The HMB, it does a lot of stuff, but it's also good for like memory.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of studies recently about this and whatever. I jump on bandwagons. So it is.
Did you know that creatine is like one of the things you should be taking every single day? I don't know if everybody else here does it. My wife wasn't taking creatine ever. She just started this year, and she says it's been like the #1 best thing that she's ever done as far as her muscle recovery after workouts, being sore at night and stuff. She thought it was just for like bodybuilders and stuff. I'm like, no, we got to be taking some creatine. Anyway, she started. She had a good chat with GPT, and it explained everything, dude. But the health benefits and the research on creatine goes back further than almost anything else. So yeah, it's a win. Like regardless if you're working out or not.
Yeah, this one, what makes it a little bit different. So the HMB is a big part of it. And I used to take, so back in the day, I was reading some things about HMB, and we were taking it separately. Well, you know how it is. It's like once you get like 14 different pills, you have to renew them. You forget which ones. You're like, oh, is it really that important? And then you're like, God, I mean,
I got a lot of vitamins like that.
You know that weird guy, the guy who's like, I'm the tech bro and I'm gonna live forever. That weird Brian. Whatever,
I know exactly who you're talking about. Yep.
Who looks creepy? He looks like a vampire.
Oh yeah.
And you would not leave him alone with underage kids at all.
Nope.
But they do some cool things. I'm trying to think of what the company is, but what they do is they put all this crap in one supplement. Like every life cutting, cool, like longevity crap. Everything other than like human baby stem cells is in this goo that they sell. But then, I was like, cool, I'm going to get the goo, right? I go to the website. Now there's like 18 different versions. I'm like, that was the whole point. The whole point was I didn't need 18 of these. I
want one option. That's it, people.
One, man. And yes, crypto's life. You're right. You got to work out. If you don't work out, it's good. But if you do work out, it's great. Anyway, I'm going to put this disgust away.
Well, everybody should be working out to some degree or another. Like, not even if it's lifting weights, walking, whatever, like sit-ups. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody should be doing something every day, which I'm sure everybody is here. I think we've reached a point in our society where we've understood the benefits of healthy lifestyle more than like past generation. Like my parents, for example, they never ever went to a gym. I don't think my mom's ever been to a gym, ever. Like not even a gym, and not just like a gym in like the corporate sense, but like never been to like, I don't think she's ever lifted weights, my mom, ever. Not one in her life. Because that was the mindset back then. They never just did that stuff.
Yeah.
Now we have more of a,
I would say
we've progressed.
60-year-olds now would whoop every 60-year-old's ass from 30 years ago.
Yeah. Things have changed. Yeah.
There's some pretty cool scales you can buy. I was on Amazon poking around, and I found they have these body scales, and okay, they're okay, except that now they're okay, but they're augmented by AI, meaning it runs the data through an LLM and then spits out some pretty cool stuff, and it can tell you. When you're standing on the scale, it can tell you not only like muscle imbalance, but actually muscle density imbalance. It can show you little injuries you might not have known about. Like one example was a guy, he stands on the scale and he has had hip problems, but he realized he had an injury when he was 30. He's like in his 60s. And one of his glutes was not firing. So it atrophied. That's where the hip pain was the reason the glute atrophied, not the other way around. Like the glute made the hip pain, not the hip pain hurting the glute. Therefore, so he took those results on his phone, went to his chiropractor, and the chiropractor was like, "Oh, okay, click, done." After like 30, this guy had been limping for 30 years. So they went and basically just did targeted weight training exercises for his leg, the bad leg, and adjusted him, and he's fine.
Flip, yeah, that's awesome.
Well, yeah, except they lost 3 decades looking like old tard, you know.
That happens. That happens so many times. That happens.
But anyway, there's some cool, and these things aren't expensive. It's like $120. And for a scale that you're going to use like all the time, it's not a bad deal. I have just one of those little glass ones. It just tells me the weight. It doesn't do anything magic.
Yeah. Well.
But it would be cool if one was like, they have one where you stand on it and then there's a screen, and the screen like tells you all this cool stuff. I'm like, that's badass.
Well, that's
but really
cool.
it's just an expensive TV and the same scale.
Yeah. You ever go do the body scan, the full body scan with it tells you where everything is? The fat and muscle and everything.
No,
you ever done one of those?
Awesome,
dude. It was good. I think it was very telling. I mean, it kind of was already what I knew, but it confirms your bias.
Technical question, Brandon. What's your best email for a technical question? I mean, look, if you have a technical question that he might be able to answer, you could just ask right here.
Yeah, there you go. I put the email in the chat. You should be able to get it off of one of those. I sent it everywhere.
Yeah, one that tells you the king of your domain. What is it, a scale for cats?
Information scale. That's what that is. That's what is that? That's hilarious.
Well, just remember, if you have a question,
sometimes,
other people, if it's a question that a lot of people have not asked, it might be a question that other people are thinking of. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, it's a scale for kings. Okay, well, They probably don't sell a lot of those then, because I don't know how many Kings there are left. Okay, so
this is good.
What do we got news wise?
This is gonna segue into what you're gonna talk about. So we have new all-time high day, obviously today.
Smokes.
Silver, gold, Nasdaq, S&P, Dow Jones, everything new all-time highs except for Bitcoin, 28% off all-time highs. But you said that you had some interesting tidbits about tax harvesting, that possibly people decided to only tax harvest crypto this year, it looks like. Screw tax harvesting everything else.
Yeah, well,
Let's just tax harvest crypto.
I don't know if they have.
Okay. What do you got?
But I know I had some. I read this article and it had some good tax harvesting tips, and I thought, well, that would be something good we should talk about. So
I agree. I also have some thoughts too to share on that. So I think this is good. Go through your stuff, and then I have some tidbits to add to it.
And I will go through this. I don't even need to pull up a little window on it. Basically, it says tax season is approaching, and the only silver lining of us getting our asses handed to us is that with crypto, because again, in the crypto, there's no wash sale rule, meaning at least for now, you can sell something and immediately buy it back. Or you could swap and then swap back. And so I'm going to use the bridge for as many of these. But for instance, with Aster, I'm getting my Aster handed to me. So I bought it at $2.12. It's at 71 cents. And I bought a lot of it. So that's a huge tax harvest I can do. So I'm going to swap out and swap right back into it. You can do it immediately, but you can book the loss. So that is awesome. Therefore, you might consider going through your portfolio. Now, listen, the exchanges are not going to have your cost basis. Hopefully you kept track of that. Otherwise, you can do some estimations. You know when the purchases were. You can go back on your exchange. I know it's a headache, but you can go back and look at when you bought, what it costs. You can get there. However, if you, like I use Live Coin Watch, which has a full spreadsheet of all my cost basis. So I can take that CVS file, send it to my tax guy. He can just run it through his garbage software, spit out a number. Anyway, so you don't, for those of you that want to tax harvest, you can, and it can mean a pretty significant amount. Now, the one thing I'm unsure of, because this is a little bit of both, and I don't think anybody has clarity on this, is with ETH and with IBIT. Technically, you can do in kind with IBIT. Therefore, I'm not sure what the rule is with IBIT.
How do you do the in kind? Have you ever gone through that process?
I don't know how to do it, but I know that you can do it.
Yeah.
But that may be something you go directly with, like your broker or something like that. So I don't know how that works exactly, but it's legal, meaning you can go crypto to the ETF. Now, the ETF of a crypto asset, I don't know, does that follow stock market asset rules or crypto rules?
Dude.
Tricky,
taxes
right?
Taxes are so funny. Dude, like, why are there taxes? Like
yeah,
this
they
is
don't pay
crazy.
anything. Anyway, so on that one, because I don't want to get the man mad at me, I'm actually on all my accounts. I sold, like on my ETH, I sold in the money calls Friday before the close of the day, just so that I can get wiped out this week, and then I'll just put my way back in, immediately put my way back in, just so that I have the same shares. But I want to book the loss. That's about the only silver lining over the last 3 months. So, but it can make a big deal. So crypto tax reporting and the accompanying calculated tax strategies, it's probably something you want to start messing with. And if I was going to do it, I'm going to do it this week. I'm not waiting until next week. Reason being is, if other people get to the last few days next week and they go, oh, that means Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, people are going to be thinking about this stuff. So I kind of want to front run this. And I might even on some of the assets front run and just sit in for a day or two, just get through the weekend, see if people start looking at their taxes and all this kind of stuff, especially crypto people that can go in and out. But because you can go in and out, you have to imagine in your brain, how many people are going to go out and stay out? Because there's some people that probably held out for the Santa Claus rally. I guess this is it. And I don't feel confident that this is any kind of real rally. I would wager that this is going to sell off. Maybe we get up to 3,200 and then, because there's nothing's changed, nothing good has happened. And if everything's the same and tax harvesting, well, then I would say some of the people that harvest, some of the people that sell are going to hold cash. They're not going to jump right back in. So I would say that the bias would be to the downside over the next week or two, unless some good, crazy news comes out. You never know. Trump might want to give away lumps of coal to everyone for Christmas. You just don't know. But anyway, so this article contends that you want to start doing it now rather than later, and I tend to agree. So if you're a crypto investor and you're asking yourself how to approach crypto tax loss harvesting, the key considerations are the following. 1, identify your losses and review what are the harvestable assets. Okay, so first of all, what did I lose on? So before commencing tax loss, before you sell anything, have some visibility into all of the relevant digital asset accounts and wallets that you have. Individuals should look for assets that are currently trading below the cost basis, which means your dollar cost average price. Now, if you bought in big chunks, then you can actually sell blocks. For instance, if you bought some Bitcoin at 99,000 and some Bitcoin at 88,000, you can sell just the Bitcoin that you bought at 99,000. And you can buy it right back now, but now would be your new cost basis, but you did lose the 11,000 on that trade. Does that make sense? So yes, you can do that. Now there are crypto tax people that will do this. I paid like $3,500 last year. The dude went through all my stuff, just took care of it. I literally just went to Livecoin Watch, put the CSV file, sent it to him. He did everything else. But you want to go and, for those of you that probably don't have 40 assets, probably do it yourself. The exchanges are going to be sending out what I think is called a 1099-D. I'll look, it's in here somewhere. But anyway, they're going to send out that form, but you have to fill it out. Anyway, look for assets currently trading below your cost basis. You can determine which assets they are, and you can sell to generate a realized loss that offsets capital gains or reduces your taxable income. And it isn't just offsetting gains in crypto. It's offsetting gains across all of your income. So depending on who you are, you might be able to wipe out all of your tax. Like, I don't think I'm paying scram this year.
Probably had a good year tax-wise, didn't you?
I got. That's
what you get for being in the lowest performing asset of the year.
Yeah. You know what you get? You get a reprieve. So it's not going to be like last year. I spent a Ferrari on taxes. Not this year. They're going to give me a Ferrari and maybe some canned soup. Anyway, yeah. When conducting your review, one of the important things is to ensure that your accounts are accurate, meaning that any and all cost bases are accurate. All calculations depend on the accuracy of the accounts, and a single error can limit the ability to measure gains and losses properly, meaning do your math right. Damn. Don't feel alone in the identification process. There are all sorts of tools that can help you identify which assets to sell and how much. But again, I'm sure most of you use something for tracking your purchases and sales. So that should have an accurate reflection of where you're at. Then once you've identified what you're going to sell it. I like just go. I'm going to, as many as I can, I will transfer to wallets and go to DeBridge, swap at DeBridge, swap right back if I want. Like I thought about with Aster, swapping my Aster for Hype and my Hype for Aster, just to take both of those losses. Anyway, so it's the sell that realizes your tax loss, right? And that activates the loss for tax purposes. Then, if you choose to, reinvest confidently. So if you look to maintain your same portfolio composition, any digital asset sold can be immediately purchased to keep long-term investment plans on track. Unlike stocks, crypto does not have a wash sales rule, meaning there's no waiting period for buybacks. Look, if you really wanted to, like if you had an asset that was on a different network, you could literally go from like from Ethereum to Ethereum on Base and back again. If that would be sufficient. A network swap is sufficient because it's a different token. It shouldn't be, but it is. So there you go.
It's like even if you wrap it, it's sufficient.
Yeah.
Like if you go from Bitcoin to wrap Bitcoin, they call that a trade, which is silly in every way. So even if you send, because if you send any like CBBTC, if you send that from your MetaMask wallet to Coinbase, it changes to Bitcoin. So that's a trade.
Yeah.
Which it shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cray. Anyway, decide if you want to keep some cash on the sidelines, reinvest, whatever you want to do. Now, it isn't a revolving loophole for generating fake losses by selling underwater crypto, but that is the law as it stands right now. They will probably sort that out in the coming year. I think with the market structure bill and all that kind of stuff, they probably will sort this out. But for now, you can do it. You don't even have to think about it. Any kind of swap counts. So that's good. Does the maximum 3,000 loss apply to crypto? I don't know what you're talking about. What?
Yeah, it's insane. So like if you have $1 billion loss and it nets negative against all of your income, you can only claim $3,000 and you have to basically push forward the $1 billion for the next 50 years. And you can only do 3,000 a year. So for example, if you take 3,000 this year and you don't have enough income to net the billion, next year, if you have $1 billion in income, you can still only net 3,000 because the look forward only does 3,000 a year, I think. So this is crazy because this happened to me when I was trading options. I lost like $250,000, which was everything, but I didn't have any income that year. And I went to go like have a huge tax deduction against some stuff that I had from another business. They're like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, what? It was like $3,000 cap.
Wait. I'm not sure I get this because if I made $250K in income, let's say
no. If you have income, you can do it, fine. But if you don't have income, you can only do 3,000 every year forward.
Yeah.
So the carry forward is only $3,000,
your income
right?
is zero. Yeah, they're not going to pay you back.
Well, even like, let's say, what's stupid is like, let's say for 2026, let's say you have a $250,000 gain, but you had a $250,000 loss in 2025. You can't net that 2026 $250,000 against your loss in 2025. You can only carry forward $3,000 a year.
Well, right. But if you're saying for this year, if you have.
Yeah, for this year, it's fine. You can net it. Yeah.
If you have, $250K in losses, $250K in gains, you can wipe out your income.
Yeah. Silly.
So let's see. Crypto is inherently complex due to its decentralization. The intricacies can leave investors paralyzed. The fear of making the wrong move often leads to making no moves at all, analysis paralysis. So it's an understandable situation, but investors should be aware that tax loss harvesting strategy can be completed at any time when the market value of your asset drops below the original purchase price. Okay. So you can do this throughout the year, and it kind of protects you against a bad year, right? So you don't have to wait till the end of the year to do this. This should be something that you're thinking about all the time. You're like, oh shit, I bought Ethereum at 4,800. It's at 3,000. I ought to just go swap. I just got to go push that across MetaMask, do a little swap here, and then swap right back. Cost me $40, and I just grabbed that whole loss. I just booked that loss and then record it in your, whatever your software is. Like I would use mine, Livecoin Watch. I would say, okay, sold Ethereum at this price, bought Ethereum at this price, because you did do a swap. All right. So yeah, you will get into 2026 with a little bit better position. Oh yeah, so the form you're going to get is the 1099 DA. So Coinbase, Kraken will send you a 1099 DA form, and then you would have to fill it out, or your tax professional would fill it out. Probably online ways to do it. Yeah. So anyway, you would do that. And you would say, okay, this is my gains, my loss, blah blah blah, against my income, whatever. But those of you who have a lot of trades in and out, probably find someone to mess with it, so that you don't have to. It's just out of sight. Just like let them do it. Anyway, yeah, the government is trying to standardize digital assets and the whole tax structure around that. Again, part of that will be there will be something from this market structure bill and all this kind of stuff that they're marking up over the next few weeks. But I don't know when that vote would be. Q1 maybe. So whatever. Point is, harvest those losses. We're giving you the gift of losses this Christmas. Congrats.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah. Any other? What are your thoughts on that, Brandon?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. This is something to look out for. I think this is plan this before the year end. Obviously, because you want to just prepare for it, especially when you have a negative year like this year. Because if you, for example, took some gains at the start of the year, because we had a good run up until July, maybe you sold something, you want to net those gains against a loss now, and then just get back into the asset for sure. So I think that should be something you plan on. Now, I think if we look at the chart here, this is Ethereum. So over the past couple of weeks, and Bitcoin's the same thing, and it's probably doing it sometime today too, but we'll see what happens. I think this could lend to the reason that it's doing these types of weird things every single day. I think some of the ETFs, some of the hedge funds, some of the people are doing some of this towards the year end, and this is what's causing these like drops. They're strategically kind of selling to get tax harvesting and that kind of stuff in crypto, because I think they did make a lot of money throughout the year. And now that things are down at a negative, they can net some of that those positive gains and be net going into year end for tax reasons. This is a win for them. They can get back in here in a couple of weeks and probably be just fine.
Not only that, but if you know as a big firm you're going to dump a bunch of XYZ, you could either through options or through futures or just directly in the market, you could go short XYZ, then sell XYZ, then close your short position on XYZ and make money from your clerical stuff. I mean, is it sketchy?
Yeah.
Is it illegal? No.
No.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. But hey man, we're still, I think, in a bear market. Well, we're below 3 trillion. So we're definitely in a bear market. Housing market is not looking great. You have a lot of sellers that are they're unlisting their houses. And it tends to get a little bit quiet during the winter, but some of the statistics on housing show that sellers, more than they have in many years, more than that, I think since 2021, are pulling houses off the market because they're like, the market's going down. So let's just pull the houses. And also other stuff has become expensive. Insurance on a house is more expensive, property tax more expensive, maintenance more expensive. So there's a lot of these things that become more expensive. Home ownership has become just generally more expensive. So it isn't even just like, what's the rate, right? It used to be like, what's the rate? So now there's a lot more to consider. Home, it is not cheap. I think it's probably in many ways better to be a renter. So much less stress.
Yeah. Yeah,
I hear about BlackRock buying up all these houses. Like, come buy my house. Let me just be a renter. I'll wash my hands of it.
Renter. There's a huge debate right now. I mean, that's the big debate: is renter buy, and buying isn't the dream that it used to be. There's too many costs associated with buying that don't get calculated into just the mortgage.
You don't ever own.
You have the property. I mean, look at you for the property taxes alone. You'll be paying property taxes till infinity ever, and they cost as much as most people's mortgages times whatever X amount. And then you have problem repairs.
Insurance.
You have all this stuff that you have to deal with. Yeah,
property tax plus insurance. So just right there, I'm over $200K a year. Just property tax and insurance.
That's insane.
It's a lot.
Nope.
But it's also going to be 73 degrees today.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But
let's just say, for example, you lived in a place that's 31 degrees today, and you pay $1,200 on property taxes. You can get a flight to Phoenix for $48 on Christmas Day. Just saying, warm right up.
Yeah, Jason, you're probably right. But and I thought, well, should I just pay the house off? No, because I'm still making more money with the money.
Well, yeah, what's your loan? And then you know that you can get 10% in USDC right now, just fine. So if your loan's cheaper than 10%, you're winning.
Yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at. I mean, it's
Huma, they dropped down to 9%, right? Well, it's 9% plus your whatever, but 9%. That's not bad.
But long story short is you don't really own anything ever anyway. So I'm not sure ownership is what it used to be.
Yeah. I don't think so either. I don't think so. The only reason you'd want to own something right now, I'm trying to think, if I was going into the market right now, I think I would rent. And I think a lot of people have done this analysis. Like if I was just starting out just right now, you'd rent. Because usually you'll get like a little renter bonus because you're renting, so you get 1 month off, and then you don't have to like there's just zero risk renting. Dude, buying is risky. Because what happens if you get into a situation in a year where you have to sell, then you have to pay all the 6% realtor fees again because that whole scam market exists for whatever reason. And then you have to pay if you lost money, and then you have to pay all the mortgage fees because usually the banks charge 1 point that you don't really know about, and you have to pay that, and you have to make that up in difference. And so buying is not as ideal as it used to be. And I think people are realizing that. So it's kind of crappy.
Yeah.
Plus trash removal plus Yeah, exactly. Did you see Michael Saylor today? They did not buy any Bitcoin last week. So he bought $1 billion for the last, the week of the 8th, week of the 15th. They bought $1 billion. And then the price dips and he doesn't buy. Dude, he's like the worst DCAer I think I ever have met.
Yeah, he's not great because the price of Bitcoin's coming down. His DCA price keeps going up.
Yeah, somehow he hit the top of this week. But this week he added more money to his US dollar reserve. They're up to $2.19 billion, which is insane. So what he's doing, he's selling at the money. His STRC and his MSTR, he's selling at the money to basically build up a cushion. So now he has almost 3.5 years of runway to pay all those dividends for all his preferred products that he has out there. They're looking safer and safer, and the market's reacting to that. STRC is basically stabilized at $98. It dropped as low as $91, which it should be stabilized at $98 with the 10.75% coupon. It's stabilized at $98 now. Everybody's happy. They feel like, they're going to make payments for 3 years, which is better. I do like that he did this.
It's still musical chairs.
It is, and so everybody's like complaining. They're like, well, he's diluting the stockholders. I'm like, well, you saw that coming anyway, so you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah. So if you're buying this stock, dummy, you're the dummy. Like,
Yeah, you know what's going to happen. Where is
yeah, like
MicroStrategy?
everybody that buys this stock, you deserve to get repaid zero. You're an idiot. So I hope it works because that means Bitcoin worked out for everyone. But MicroStrategy is just a long end Ponzi scheme, and these things can go on for a while.
Dude,
But
I want to do
scheme.
I want to do MicroStrategy against gold over the last year.
Oh,
Oof, that would be brutal.
yeah.
I don't know if that's worth it. I don't even know if that's worth it. So MicroStrategy hit a high of $456 in July. It's $166 down. So it's down worse than Bitcoin by far, right?
Yeah.
By far. Like if I compare Bitcoin to this bad boy, BTC, yeah, Bitcoin is only down 17%. MicroStrategy is down almost 60%.
No, but Brandon, you're forgetting that if you spend $2 on MicroStrategy, you get $1 worth of Bitcoin.
Oh, I forgot. Well, clearly, look at that. It's like obvious. Look at that. $2 to $1.
And if you show anybody this, they're going to be like, yeah, but wait till the rebound. Like,
yeah.
What rebound, you fools? You damn lemmings. That chart should be all that people need to see ever.
Yeah, this is brutal.
People dumb. Oh, no. Not why no dick punch. Why no dick punch yet?
I think it'll come. I think, well, it's slowly starting to sell off a little bit right now, but I don't think there is going to be the same. I think that Jane Street, I think those guys did all their techs. I think it was pretty aggressive. I think they sold what they needed to, and I think they're good for the year.
Well, those were those big options expirations.
Yeah, we have one more this week, a big one, right?
I think so.
And so if we can get past that, I think, we'll see some stuff, because Bitcoin, obviously, even if you look at this chart, like if you look at the alt, Bitcoin is the strangest of all these. Like, which one's not like the other Bitcoin? So does that mean there's an opportunity here to get into Bitcoin, or does that mean the rest of these are just going to absolutely?
Well, first of all, S&P and NASDAQ, that's basically the same chart because it's 7 stocks carrying that whole damn thing. So that should just be layered. S&P and NASDAQ should just be split. Like, it should just say both of those as one chart.
Right. And the Dow pretty much too, right? Yeah. Pretty much. Like all three of those are.
But yeah, for the most part.
What we need to look at is the IWM.
What's that?
The IWM we need to look at, because that excludes all those other stocks. It's still doing pretty good too, actually.
Well, but that's that passive indexation effect, right? Any money that goes in the stock market is going to these index funds, and so that's what you're getting when you're buying S&P funds, things like that. So, but that financialized part of the economy, the stock market, is only for a small group of people. Most everybody else lives in the world that doesn't have these charts. Their life looks like the Bitcoin chart over the last 90 days.
Sheesh.
Just a stomp of both balls. One stomp, 2 balls stomped. One stiletto, all the ovaries stomp.
It's weird. Usually Bitcoin has followed the NASDAQ, and it has just taken a.
Yeah, that's why when you hear these people say, I love Jeff Snyder, and but his idiot friend Steve Van Meter is such a moron. Their contention is, and this is wrong, is that Bitcoin is a play on AI. What? So since 2009, Bitcoin's been a play on AI? Shut up. Like, this is when people look at the last 13 seconds of data and make these, grand claims. You just want to slap the shit out of them. Like, stop with your clickbaity bullshit. But then you realize that these are guys that don't manage money and can't manage money and have never managed money. And if they did manage money, they no longer manage money. And there's a reason why. You can say all of this sensational, stupid, near-term, echo chamber, recency bias bullshit when there's nothing at stake. Like these TA guys. Nothing at stake.
Oh. Yeah. Did I tell you? So I was listening to this thing this morning. You see oil dropping, I think, against silver and against gold. And this guy's on there for like 10 minutes. He's talking about gold, how he thinks it's going to $5,000 an ounce. And then he was talking about oil. He's like 100%. So this is what oil is going to do. So oil's going to drop down to $40. It's going to go down. Everybody should be shorting oil right now and all this stuff. And so one of the guys on the podcast, he's like, so are you shorting oil? It's like, oh, no. I'm just a strategist.
Yeah.
No, and he literally came out, and I don't know if he knew how stupid and retarded he was being, but he actually said what everybody else should say, in that they don't actually trade what they 100%, like the 10 minutes prior, he was 100% convicted that this is what's going to happen. XYZ. He put all these charts on the screen. He believed it with 100% passion. He was telling everybody in the chat, this is what needs to be done. You
Full
need to
certainty.
oil down to this.
Full certainty.
Full certainty. And then when asked, all right, so you're putting a short on, he's like, huh, no, the minute I short it, it's going to go to 70 and stop me out. It's like, wait, so you're not actually putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah.
And so now, like, everywhere that I see this kind of crap, I call everybody out. I'm like, you're full of crap. You're not putting your money where you show me the trade. Show me. Nobody has yet showed me a trade.
They can't.
To show me the conviction of their what they're saying. Whereas you and I get on the show, and anything we say we're doing, we do it. And I don't know.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
To the detriment of our own portfolios, but I believe in what I believe, you know? Even though Bitcoin's down 30% in the last month, I still believe in Bitcoin because nothing's changed fundamentally in the value of Bitcoin. The proposition is still the same, if not better. But the reason that gold is going up and Bitcoin, you asked, why, somebody else asked right here, why is gold going up, Bitcoin going down? There's some macro factors at play. Right now, China's playing a game, Venezuela's playing a game. Everybody's playing different types of games to be able, because they're all fighting on a bigger political scale than just Bitcoin right now. The BRICS nations are all fighting against each other. China's starting to do mining bans, so they're starting to buy gold. So gold's going up and everything else is moving up, and they're not buying Bitcoin because they're shutting down miners. So yeah, that's going to have an effect on Bitcoin in the short term, but long term, nothing's changed.
Let's jump behind the wall and let's talk about 4-year cycle and things like that.
Go. Let's do it.
Bam. Pow. Bam. Hold on. I'm touching some buttons. Bam. Pow.
There.
Bam. Pow. Bam. Pow.
Going behind the proverbial wall now to continue the broadcast privately for the digital investors and digital private clients. If you'd like to join us, simply go to nickblacknext.com and subscribe to one of our plans and immediately take advantage of our library of tools, tactics, and information. It's all designed to help you learn, grow, and manage your portfolio like a pro. Join us now